which is Michelle Mathieson. And Michelle, you ready to go?
Can you hear me okay? Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes, it's a little soft. You can speak a little bit, and I'm right now going to get your presentation up on the screen. So please just start to introduce yourself, and then we'll get going with your presentation.
Okay, I want to make sure, is this better though? Like, is it louder?
So Michelle, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Better? Is this louder? Can you hear me?
Yes, that's beautiful. Carry on. Take it away.
Okay. So my name is Michelle Mathieson. I'm a recruiter. I work at one of the largest nonprofits in New York. We've been around since 1831. And I've also worked as a job readiness and placement counselor and job developer over the years. And it's just really my passion to help people get the job of their dreams. Now, I know this is an entrepreneurial workshop, but a lot of the times, I'm an entrepreneur myself, but a lot of times when we are starting out in whatever field that we're starting in, we do need a job. And I want to make sure in this workshop you know how to always get a job that you actually want where it doesn't feel like work. And until the money that you're making from your job is passive, that is your job. So a lot of times I think, we kind of hate that word job, but I've always actually been really empowered by that word because for me, my job is my God-given right. It's what I'm here to do. It's what I love to do. So this workshop is really geared towards early-stage entrepreneurs just like yourself that are starting out, that you have financial needs, and there may be work that you really want to do. And if you are at the point where you are just focusing on your business, you'll know how to do it with a sense of purpose that you may not have heard before. So that's a little bit about me and what we're about to do. So can we go to the next slide? Perfect. So question. Keep going. You have to keep clicking because I did it as a step-by-step. So just click like next, I guess. Why should you listen to me, right? So just keep going again, but the next two, just click it twice. One more time. All right, well, listen to me. So this is what I've been doing for the last 17 years. This is what I know to do. So I always tell people, like, Oprah Winfrey was born to talk to people. Michael Jackson was born to dance. I was born to help people get connected to what they really want to do. This is what lights me up. This is what I do for work, not for work. This is just kind of how I've been. When I was a young girl, my first question when I met people was always, what's your passion? So that being what I love to do and what I've been trained to do for almost 20 years now, I just want to set the context that what I'm about to share with you is not just like ideas that I have that work for me. This is what has worked over the course of time for countless people. So, and the way that I'm presenting it to you is an exact formula. I've taken out and refined this over the course of the last 17 years of what is the easiest, fastest, most direct way to get the job that you actually want whenever you want it. Because when I was starting out as an entrepreneur, for the first 2 years, I was in and out of certain jobs. When you're starting out, sometimes the money's not coming right away. That's just what it is when you're starting. And there were times where I wanted to get a job, but I didn't want to just get any job. I wanted to do what I really wanted to do, and I followed these steps. And when I've coached people privately, done workshops, do it every day in my work, this is what I follow, and this is what has given people success 100% of the time when they follow it exactly as it's designed. Next slide, please. Okay, so I got something scary to tell you. My job search story was not pretty. So I'm going to give you a little story. When I was 17 years old, getting my first job, it was a nightmare of nightmares. I couldn't find a job, and my parents let me off, like, allowance. And I know that might seem simple, but at the time, it was like if you don't work, you're not going to get clothes, you're not going to get anything. And I was actually very, very worried. So I was trying to find a job, couldn't get it, time going on. And then one day I decided to walk like 5 miles in the summer, going from store to store of a very popular street in Brooklyn, just trying to find a job. I went to every store, nothing. No one would hire me. Almost at my house, I stopped in one more store, and they said they finally hired me. And I figured at that moment that I figured it out. I was like, wow, I learned my lesson. If I just hit the pavement, I'm not lazy, and I do the work that I have to do, I'll get a job. So I was like, I learned it. I figured it out nice early. So they told me they would hire me, but I have to train for 2 weeks. It's not paid, but get trained for 2 weeks. So I was like, okay, I'm good. So I go after school every day. I'm, doing my thing on the register. I'm so excited. Every day I'm so excited. I'm thinking about clothes I can get, places I can go because I finally got a job. After the end of the 2 weeks, I go to the store and they tell me they're not hiring. And when they told me that, I was devastated because I was like, I thought I learned a lesson. I was out in the street. I was hitting the pavement. I thought, my divine guidance was telling me this is what you need to learn. And I felt stuck. I was so disappointed and so, downcast that I couldn't even say, why are you not hiring me? Because I was just so embarrassed of what was going on. So when that happened, I just walked home in shame, cried, and then I finally got home, I got in my bed, and I curled up in a ball, and I asked myself one question. And this one question led me to getting the job of my dreams in less than a week. And since that time, in the last 17 years, every job, every raise, every promotion that I've ever gone for, I've gotten 100% of the time, starting with this question I'm about to tell you. So when I got in the bed, I said, it's like the heavens opened up. It's like I had a divine awakening. Something said, Michelle, what do you actually want to be doing? And I just said, well, I really want to be a secretary. I want to be in an office. Actually, I want to go somewhere where it's quiet and I want to be on my feet all day at a supermarket. I actually want to be in an office. And then I started telling people that I wanted to do that, and I started taking little typing classes at home, and I got a job. And then from there, when it was, I got older and went to college, I followed that path every time. And I didn't know I was even onto something until my friends kept saying, how come you love your job? We always hate our job. You love what you're doing. And I started just telling people what I did, and I started writing it down, and because I was tired of telling everybody, and this is what I'm about to teach you. So that's my job search story, and now you're going to get the benefit of it too. So can you go to the next slide, please? Welcome. Keep going. So I believe that you came into this earth with a job to do, some important, meaningful work that has to be done. Because in essence, I believe everybody has a job. No one has to really find it. And it's my job, I believe, to assist you. Because I think really when the teacher is teaching, that person is doing what they're supposed to be doing. If the singer is singing, not teaching, but singing. If the dancer is dancing and she should be dancing and not singing, I truly believe that peace is possible for everyone on the earth. Because when you're doing what you actually love, it changes your entire life. Talking about time management, when your priority is doing the gift that's in you, you get focused in a way where your priorities are so easy to take care of. You lose focus, you lose track of time or your priorities when you're not focused on what you really want to be doing. So it's kind of perfect that she went before me. So let the discovery begin. So can we go to the next slide, please? Keep coming. Okay, so I said this in the beginning. We're about to dig in. You may have the urge to complicate what I'm going to share with you because this is very simple. This is not a complicated thing whatsoever. There's a saying, I don't know if you heard of KISS, keep it simple, smarty, or some people say keep it simple, stupid, but really just keep it simple. You will have the urge to say, well, I should try this, I should try that. I'm telling you as someone that literally I see thousands of people get thousands of resumes. In my database right now where I work, I have 33,000 resumes. I am telling you, what I'm sharing with you is the difference between people that get hired and not get hired, or people that are just looking for something for 6 months and can't find anything. This is what I know. So I don't want you to have to figure out something for yourself. A lot of times we learn something and then we complicate it. So as I was telling you before, just keep this real simple. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is step one, okay? So wherever you are right now, I'm asking that same question. And this is the thing. I was actually literally working with an entrepreneur last night. She has a jewelry business, and she's looking for a job. And after we had a long conversation, she got clear about her jewelry business. So she came to me looking for a job, and I said, what's the essence of the work you actually want to do? And I say essence, not just the work, because you want to get the flavor of it. So when I say the essence, it's not that a lot of times I ask people, what do you want to do? They say a teacher, a secretary, whatever the case may be. But you want to get clear about the essence of it. And I'm going to give you an example. If someone was thinking about getting married, if they said, well, you want to get married, who do you want to get married to? Imagine if they said Tom or they said Kelly. You can't get so specific in the beginning. Specificity will count, but in the beginning, you want to get the flavor of it. Like, I want a person that's funny and driven and is an entrepreneur. You want to get the feel of it. You want to get a connection, like a vibrational, emotional connection to what you want. A lot of times we get so steeped in the title of something. Well, I want a manufacturing business. That's fine, but what's the essence of that? What about manufacturing is the thing that's calling to you? What is it about, a clothing line? Is it because you want people to look beautiful? Do you want to add beauty to the world? Do you want to get to the essence of the work that you actually want to be doing? Now, because I say, finding and searching for a job is hard. I agree that's very, very hard, or getting clear on the business that you want to do is hard, but creating what you want is much, much easier, and that is a very simple tool, and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. Can you go to the next slide? Okay. So, for example, right, like if there was a person that said, I want to be an English teacher, keep going. The answer would be, it wouldn't be that I want to be an English teacher. The answer would be the essence of it. I want to work with kids. I want to explore prose, poetry, classroom setting. I want to make fun, engaging lesson plans, because then you may not even be an English teacher. There may be a whole different opportunity that's right in front of your face that's not called English teacher. And it could be English teacher, but it actually opens up the possibilities way more than thinking the only thing I can do is be an English teacher. And you could end up making more money. And I see that. There's so many people that I see where they think they come to me thinking for one thing, say like this all the time. People will come to me looking for a certain level job, and when I find out the essence of what they want, sometimes there's jobs that are like so much better for them. And I mean, the difference between $20,000 and $10,000, like, it's major differences. So it's fine if that's what it ends up being, an English teacher or whatever it is, but you want to always start with the essence, because you want to get to the essence of what you want to be doing, just not the actual job title itself in the beginning, in step one. All right, could you go to the next slide? Keep going. Okay, so this is the important piece. How do you get clear exactly? Because a lot of times people think getting clear is like, okay, I'm going to write things down, I'm going to think about it. The fastest way, and this is over the course of 17 years, the fastest way to get clear about what you want is in a conversation with another person. All right, now the thing that sometimes stops people from having these conversations is they're not sure what they want and don't want that moment where they're looking unclear and silly. But I'll tell you, you need to kind of have that little space where you're not sure of what it is, and it's going to arise in the conversation. So what I tell people is talk to at least 2 to 3 people about the essence of the work that you actually want to be doing, and it has to be a live conversation. This cannot be something that you're texting or it's like a Facebook direct message. It doesn't have to be live, but it does have to be in person. And once you actually get clear about the essence of what you want to be doing, it should feel almost like a click in your system. That's when you need to write it down with a pen or pencil. These are basic principles. Getting clear is in a dialogue, because the moment, I'll tell you why it's so important with another person, because when you tell someone what you want and they get it, and you get that they get it, you get it. There's a powerful thing that happens when someone is getting what you're saying. Their confirmation of it helps you realize that is what I want, or even them not getting it. Because they may say, oh, okay, maybe this is what you're saying. You're like, no, that isn't really it. That back and forth is the fastest, and I mean the fastest way to get clear about anything, not this being still writing or talk to someone. And I'm going to tell you how to talk to someone, and I think it's the next slide. So go to the next slide for me, please. Okay. Well, this is a note. So you want to get clear about any other detail that matters to you, like the kind of environment that you want to work in, the coworkers, how close it is to your home, how much pay you would like, which is a huge topic. People, I mean, if I can say anything on that, do not undervalue or undersell yourself. I negotiate salaries every day, and you would be surprised how much higher companies can go, for-profit and nonprofit, all the time through negotiation. That is a whole separate workshop, but get clear on how much you want, because you're going to get what you actually project that you think you can get and what you deeply know inside. So I'm not going to let myself go crazy on that, but that's a very important thing, and that's one of my favorite things is to get people more money. So just more detail of the essence is what you want to get clear on the essence. Okay, can you go to the next slide? Okay, this is really important. Please do not move on to the next steps, which are very simple, until you are crystal clear beyond a shadow of a doubt of exactly the work you want to be doing, because this is your real job search or your real, entrepreneurial plan. Get this. And if people think it should be something else where they may be sending out resumes or talking to investors, or this is you actually getting, this is the search. It's not the conversation. Like if I'm sitting down and you're in front of me, that is the job search. You want to make sure that is clear, because if that's not clear, your job search is going to be a hopeless no-win battle, like it was for me when I was walking in the heat for those 5 miles back and forth in the summer. I completely wasted my time. And a lot of people do that every day. Every day people say, I've been searching for a job for the last 6-7 months. Last year I can't find, or I hate my job. They're wasting their time because they're not clear about what they want. So this is the most important step. Every step is important, but this one is the foundation. Okay, can you go to the next slide? These are some important tips, and I'm not sure if everyone's getting the slides. I hope they do, because then you could read them really thoroughly. But this is just the tip that I'm just saying is what I said in the last slide, is just take the majority of your time on this part, and that could be like a day. I just want to let you know the majority of people that I work with, I do not take on any clients past 30 days, because the majority of people that I work with get what they want within 7 days, but anything past 30 days, I know they're not serious. So this part I always tell people, let this be a 1 to 2 day process. Don't do anything else. Just be in these conversations and get clear, and then go about your business, because you don't want to be searching for a job. You want to be living your life and doing what it is that you want to do, or making money from your business. That's what you want. You don't want to be figuring it out and all these other activities that's not actually doing the direct action of your business or the work that you want to do. Can we go to the next slide, please? Okay, this is really, really, really important. So when you're doing the first step, it's really, really important when you're asking someone to listen to you about the tips. I was reading what it said, the tips about getting clear on what you want to do. It's really important that you don't get feedback yet, because the clearer you are, the more ideas people are going to have for you. Please remember that. When you really start getting clear about what you want, people are going to say, you know what, I think that would be good for you. It's too early yet. It's too early, because you want to first get clear for yourself. And what you tell people is, you know what, you say, I watched this lady, this career coach, she told me that I should try something, and you can't give me any advice. Because these conversations should not really be more than 5 minutes. Anything more than that, you're probably talking about what you don't want, what you haven't had. You only want to talk about what you want. Those conversations are so short. They're not long conversations. So it's just really important that don't get any advice from anybody. You can say, if you have advice, please tell me later. You can even write it down, but you don't want to start taking a path towards something and you're not really sure of it. Okay? Can I get the next slide, please? Okay, these are my last, even more important tips. Listen, you want to be heard. That's what we all want. Everybody wants to be heard. So you have to make sure that when you have this conversation about getting clear about the essence of the work that you actually want to be doing, you need to make sure the person can really listen to you. You want to set it up as almost like a sacred space where you say, I need 5 minutes, but you can't be distracted. You can't be on your phone or watching TV or thinking about this. You really need someone to listen. That's the key to this. Because most of the times, we don't really listen to each other's dreams in a powerful way. Because, in my experience, when I ask someone, what do you really want to do? What's the essence of it? It almost knocks people off their seat, because no one's ever asked and they could tell that someone cared about the answer. When you're asking them to do this interplay with you, their listening is the goal. It's what's giving you the space to actually say what you need to say. So it's really, really, really important that you empower this person to listen to you, because that's a space where you're going to get clear about what you want. Okay? And then, yeah, I put 7 minutes in this one, but if you, as I said, if it goes past 7 minutes, it's too long. And again, make sure you're speaking about what you actually want, not the things that don't work and haven't worked out for you and why it can't work out. Just say what you want. Okay, can I go to the next slide? That's number 1. Okay, keep going. Okay, step 2, simple. Everybody, this is about getting yourself in order. You know how you've seen a messy closet, and then some people say, I don't have a messy closet. You know someone that has a messy closet. You can imagine a messy closet. Imagine a messy closet. A lot of times where we have so many things in the closet, we forget what we have, right? So there's been times where I have forgotten that I have like a shoe, and I buy a shoe, and I'm like, oh, my God, I had the same kind of shoe. I totally forgot that it was even in there. It's so important that anything around your job or your business that you're putting off or you know to do and are not doing, that you do them, because those things literally, and I mean literally, not figuratively or like, it cuts off opportunities and you just won't see it. And this step is one of those steps where it's very much experiential, like riding a bike. I can tell you about it, but you have to get on a bike to understand. You just have to do this one. I don't like to explain this one too much because it's not going to make sense. But what I will tell you is this. If you know you need to update your resume and you haven't, do it. If you know you haven't, like, there's something for your business that you know you could do and you're not doing it, do it. And the simplest way to get started, because all of this is fast, it's not long, just make the list of the things that you need to do and when you can get them done by. That's it. Very simple. Because maybe you can't get certain things done in a month, but then when you write it down and you see the amount of time that it may take, because it's important to write the amount of time you think it will take, you may be able to get some stuff done today. But that is like an engine that starts to go, because for now you're clear. You created the environment for what you want to materialize, and now you're like moving the engine. Because now things are going to start clicking and making sense in a way that it hasn't before, because you've been blocking yourself. Because when you have things that you know you can do, I'm not saying stuff you can't do. Although there's very few things you can't do, to be honest. But, you know, the things that you can do, like you physically can do it and you're not, don't expect other miracles to happen and you're not even doing the things that you can do. It just doesn't make any sense. So this part is really, really important to start getting yourself in order. Can you go to the next slide, please? And something that I didn't say from that last slide is it's anything with work and money. So if you owe somebody money, if you're not clear about how much you want to charge for something, or you're kind of, you know, waffling it, and you should be, everyone on the call, you know those things that I'm talking about because they're coming to mind. All those little things that you know you can do, it's those things. Don't make them up. Don't try to invent something, but the things that you know you can do, start doing them. And then the last step, which is the serendipity of it all, is what I call share to solve. Simplest thing. So basically, share to solve is a method where you have conversations that help you get clear. No, I'm sorry, it helps you actually get what you want. So like when you're starting in the beginning, it's like sharing to clear. You want to share to get clear about what you want, and now you want to like solve the issue. So when you are speaking to people, a lot of times what I found is when people are looking for a job or even starting a business, a lot of times they're sharing about it, but they're not sharing it in a way where people can get involved. So people are like, I'm looking for a new job. I just, really want a new job. Or starting a business, and people are like excited because when you say you're starting a business, it always sounds good. People don't know the half of what it is to start a business, but it sounds great. I mean, tons of people start businesses, but them being successful is a whole other story. But obviously it sounds nice. But when you're sharing it, you want to always ask a question. I mean, that question will guarantee involvement, right? Because, granted, some people may not want to answer the question, but when you say, I'm looking for a job, I really want to help kids, and I want to work, in a kind of outdoorsy setting, and, I want to teach them about agriculture. Do you know anything about that? And I know it sounds simple, but people don't do it. And that's the thing. That's why the majority of people just don't say anything. 2, say how hard things have been. They're not even talking about what they want. But when you start asking people, an action will immediately arise for you. Now, that action may be, I know this place is hiring. Call me on Tuesday about it. That's your next step, because now the plan's going to be laid out. Or they could say, I don't know anything. And in that case, the next step is to speak to somebody else. And some people say, well, I don't know any people. This day and age where you can connect via Facebook and all these other different forms of, groups online, you can find people. There's someone you can talk to. And if you don't know anyone, then you need to try to get out there. Go to a church. To get yourself out there wherever you can to start being able to start talking about it. And, of course, there's going to be some ideas that you know to do from step 2. Do them. I'm not saying don't do a business plan and don't do your market research and all the stuff that you're doing and get your website up. Those are the things you need to be doing. But you got to get the assistance. You want to make sure that you're getting as much assistance and as much energy as you can towards the goal that you're doing. So in Share to Solve, just make sure that you're having those conversations daily and the actions, you're taking them consistently. Usually, the things that you need begin to fall in your lap because now you've created a chain of support. And a big thing that I wanted to mention is this. When you're clear about what you want, and you're getting yourself in order. You're doing the stuff that you're supposed to do, and you're talking about it, and you're asking questions. You will begin to see things move in a way that you would never believe. Because what happens is this: when you get clear about it, you are subconsciously having people get clear for you as well. And I'm going to tell you why. You may have heard of the reticular activating system, and it's something that I actually learned at Landmark when I started doing courses there, personal development company. That when you get your first car, if you ever got a first car, or you hear a new word, everywhere you start hearing that word. Or if you get a new car, you notice when I got a gold Honda, everybody in the road seemed to have a gold Honda. There's something in our brain that helps us focus on what we're focused on. When you start telling people what you're focused on with that level of being so vivid, they start focusing on that. There's so many times that people have said, Michelle, I told my friend, they didn't even know about anything, and then the next day they told me about a job that they saw. You're going to have 10 people, 5 people, 3 people, it doesn't matter, looking for you to work for you. It's like magic. And I'm telling you, it's magic. They're like, I cannot believe it. It's like it's fallen right in my lap. That's why I say it takes 7 days for these kind of shifts to happen, because you're creating a vortex of energy around what you're doing. And listen, do certain things take time? Absolutely. I'm not saying you're going to grow your business in the next 7 days. I'm not saying that. There's processes to things. But what I am saying is certain changes, especially with a job where it's just making, a few dollars doing something, doesn't take long. I have not seen it really take long for anyone that is clear about what they want. I haven't. In 17 years, I have not seen it. There's a saying when you get committed, that's when Providence moves with you. When you are clear beyond a shadow of a doubt of what you want, it is going to happen, period. So with that, can we go to the next slide, please? I already told you all that. Okay, so keep going to the next slide. One thing that the last slide says I think is important is whatever action, comes up in the conversations where you're sharing and solve, make sure you take it. Because then if you don't take it, you'll be back in step 2, not doing the stuff you're supposed to do. And it slows you down, cuts off opportunities. So that last page right here is just a recap of everything. So everything I told you. And then can you go to the next slide? I think there's a bonus. You don't need to do this. You don't, but it makes a tremendous difference. So I want to just state, whether you do this or not, it will still work. But we've heard this, gratitude. Anytime that you're thinking about your business or the job that you need, or if your business is your job and you're trying to create that scenario where you're doing what you love, just being gratitude. I mean, this is its own course on gratitude, but nothing has to go faster than this, right? So the method is still fast, but this piece, it's like an oil, it's like a grease, it's an elixir. It makes things go fast. And then sometimes we can forget. You can wear a rubber band on your wrist. You can paint your nails a certain color just to help you remember. Whatever it is, it's going to physically help you remember that anytime the thought of your business or work comes up and money, to just say thank you, it will build on itself. So that's my bonus in it, the whole separate conversation. But I could not put it in because that piece alone is it makes things move in a way that's, you see, the first part is amazing, but this part is miraculous. So I just want to just tell you that. But whether or not you do it, it will work. Can you go on to the next slide? So thank you very much. If you want to reach out to me, you can email me at Michelle@SeeWhatMatters, and I want you to go and get that job or grow the business so that you're making it that business your job until it becomes passive, and enjoying your life because I think you deserve it. So thank you for your time and your attention. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Michelle. That was really incredible, very, very helpful. We do not currently have any questions, but if anybody has any additional questions, let us know, and we'll get those answered for you.